County Industrial Development Corporation. We need approval of the prior minute meetings from last month.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Kevin?
Yeah. So I stand here, does this work for you?
Yes, this is Kevin Loki from the local labor.
Correct. So I have the May monthly report for MCIDC covering our site visits between May 1st and May 31st. During this period, we made 7 monthly site visits. We made 1 follow-up visit during this period. We checked residency with 302 workers. We had 2 issues of non-compliance, both of which were no proof of residence, and there were no new MCIDC signs delivered during that period. Any questions there?
Because
So I also have 2 waivers that were approved during the month of May. Would you like me to read those as well?
yes.
Okay. So the first one here, this is for the Eugenio Maria de Hostos Charter School. The company is Coachella Precast. It's under specialized construction is how this was submitted. So this company is based out of Berlin, New Jersey, and they'll be installing precast concrete wall and roof panels at the Eugenio Maria de Hostos Charter School on Joseph Avenue. There are currently no local precast panel fabricators and installers within the designated 10-county local area. And most precast panel contracts include fabrication and installation in one package. The total contract for this project is relatively small, under $200,000. There will only be 6 out-of-area workers on the project, and Coachella is working with either Clark Rigging or CP Ward, to include a local crane operator in the installation process. Any questions on that one?
How come there aren't any?
That's a good question. In most cases, all over the state where I work, with these precast fabricated panels, there are no local companies doing anywhere in New York. So it's a regular waiver I'm approving down in Westchester County and Orange County or here. But when they're at least able to incorporate those local crane operators, sometimes they're able to get local iron workers involved as well. So it's a good thing when we at least include that. But in this case, we are at least getting 1 guy with the 6 out of there. Any other questions on that waiver? So the next one I have here is for Jewish Home Moderate Housing, Inc. The company is Henderson Johnson. This is submitted to the lack of local labor category. So Henderson Johnson is based out of Syracuse, and they'll be performing the floor leveling services at Jewish Moderate Housing, located on Winton Road. So gypcrete, which is the material they are using in this project, is a floor underlayment material, and that is commonly used in multi-housing, hotels, and other mixed-use properties. It also dries at a quicker rate than concrete, making it easier to install. The material is fire resistant and reduces sound transmission between floors. There are no local contractors that perform this work in the defined local area. We get this with Comida jobs all the time too. It's either going to be Henderson Johnson or Truax and Hovey. There's not a local contractor that performs these services unless it's wrapped into a broader scope and a larger contract that doesn't just solely include the gypcrete installation. Any questions on that one?
Any more questions for Kevin? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Thank
You
you.
can have lunch.
I'm okay. I appreciate it. You always offer. Thank you for that.
Alex is going to do the financial report. We're having him replace Craig permanently.
Well, we'll see. So yes, going down the financial statements, cash and cash equivalents, those balances are comprised of our checking account has $335,000. Our money market savings is around $150,000. The gain loan account is around $103,000, and then we have a little over $1 million in the microloan account. Our investments currently, we're holding 11 treasury securities with a total maturity value of around $4.3 million. During the month of May, we recognized $4,500 of accrued interest and market value adjustments during the period. And then our maturities kind of stagger quarterly out through July 2027. And then for our loan receivables, we have the RLF. We collected $10,500 of principal during the month with $2,500 of interest. The gain loans, we had $2,000 of principal collected with $63 of interest. And then the microloans, we received $41,000 of principal and then $8,500 of interest. And then during May, we gave out 2 new loans totaling $100,000. And then the rest of the balance sheet, all of their assets and liabilities were pretty well aligned with our expectations. Going down to the statement of activities, we had revenue other. This is the $230,000 fees collected in May from the Jewish Home Project. The microloan grant income, there wasn't a voucher submitted for May, so these will be included in income once we submit the next voucher for reimbursement. Incentive and economic development, we were a little below budget, but some of that is just timing of when we're spreading the budget out evenly over the year. We expect it to even out as the bills come in, and we end up having those come through. And then bad debt, we currently have an allowance on our microloans of 15% on the total balance, and then we had 50% of a reserve against the Roxera RLF loan. And then otherwise, the remaining items of statement of activities are pretty aligned with budgets and expectations.
Any questions for Alex? Okay. Barry?
It is now 12:13. I'd like to close the public hearing for the Jewish Home of Rochester Senior Housing Project, and there was no public comments. And then I would also like to introduce Carly, who's here as the representative for Jewish Home of Rochester Senior Housing, Inc., doing business as the Summit at Brighton. I forgot at Brighton before, so apologies. And this project, I'll let her talk about the sort of new construction portion of it, but the request before you today is to issue tax-exempt bonds in the amount currently estimated to be 55 million, not to exceed 58 million. And the purpose would be to refinance prior bonds, the Series 2017 bonds, the Series 2015 bonds, and then to do a new construction project that Carly will tell us about.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Carly Zecker. It's nice to meet you. Some of you may have met me when I was here for the Jewish Home Moderate Housing Project. So the Summit at Brighton is a continuing care retirement community, one of only 14 in New York State, where when residents move in, they pay an entrance fee, and they continue to move through the continuum of independent living, assisted living, and then nursing home care if they need it. So they opened in 1996 and haven't had any significant upgrades since then. We currently have 90 independent living units and then 78 assisted living units. And then they contract with Jewish Home of Rochester when and if a resident needs nursing home care, because that's a separate entity with 328 beds. So this project we've been working on for about 4 years now. We're almost at the finish line with final Department of Health and Department of Financial Services approvals, because they're regulated by both, because they are licensed CCRC. So what we're looking to do in this project is we're having a mix of new construction as well as renovation. So we're building 35 new independent living units, which are larger than the units we currently offer. Part of that is due because we are the smallest CCRC in New York State with only 90 units. Most have over 100 or more. We've already pre-sold all 35 of those units and still have over 100 people on our waiting list. In addition to that, we're building a new multi-purpose center, a new fitness center, and then once those are done, we'll be going inside and renovating all of our common spaces, which includes all of our dining venues. So as Barry mentioned, the project total is about 55 million, because that does include refinancing both of our existing financings that are out there from 2015 and 2017. Pike Residential is our contractor. They are the original builders of the Summit as well, so they have a very good institutional knowledge of the project, and it is a guaranteed maximum price construction contract.
What about the 2015, 2017?
So the 2015 bond was when we built our 18-bed locked memory care unit, which we call the Lodge. So that was, I believe, just over $2 million, because it was just that small portion. The 2017 bond was actually a refinancing of our existing debt, and that was about $7.5 million originally, the issuances.
So the guaranteed max is for the new construction?
Correct.
And how much is that?
That's $45 million.
That's the guaranteed.
That's the new construction as well as renovation of all the common spaces. And it's about a 25-month construction. It's a phased construction.
And a refinancing of the proper bonds.
Yeah, there'll be
Yes.
about 10 million of refinancing and about 45 of new money construction.
Just for my own edification. So if I want to go to the summit at Jewish Home, I pay an upfront fee, right?
Yeah, so the summit it's considered a continuing care retirement community. So it's an entrance fee type community. So you enter into what's called a
Guaranteed
residency
fee.
agreement. Yep, you pay an entrance fee when you move in as well as a monthly rental fee. And if you choose, we offer 3 different types of entrance fees. There's type A, which is full life care coverage, type B, which includes 60 days of assisted living and 60 days of nursing home, and a type C includes no coverage. As you continue, most of the time people who get a type C, it's because they already have some existing long-term care insurance policy that they've been paying into. So a type A, as you move through the continuum, no matter where you live, you're always paying what that independent monthly rental amount is, rather than eventually say, for example, you have to move to the nursing home, you're not paying, $600 a day.
Gotcha.
So
And how much
it's
is
almost
the,
like a life care insurance product, and that's why we're also regulated by Department of Financial Services in addition to Department of Health.
and how much is the upfront?
The entrance fee, it ranges based on the type of apartment you have as well as type of contract, as well as refundable portion. Some are 100% refundable, some are 50, and some are 90. So they range from about 100,000 all the way up to about 550,000, depending on all those different factors.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for Carly?
I have a question, which is, I can't answer it. I noticed your lawyers are in Ithaca. Why do we have lawyers in Ithaca?
They were referred to us through our placement agent because of their experience working with the Department of Health and Department of Financial Services, because they have experience working with other CCRCs. We're the only licensed CCRC in Rochester. There's 2 in Buffalo, the rest are all downstate. So that's why, that's the attorney that we use.
So the placement agent is Citizens?
The placement agent is Piper Sandler that we're using. Citizens will hold the mortgage.
They won't be the attorney.
So the
No,
Citizens actually
they
hold the
represent
debt? or do they-
Citizens will hold the debt. And they currently actually hold our debt as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No more questions for Carly? So, why don't you read the motion, Barry?
Sure, so we need a motion to approve up to 58 million in tax-exempt bond financing for the Jewish Home of Rochester Senior Housing, Inc., for the refinancing of prior bonds and to construct, furnish, and equip a 4-story, 61,000 square foot building with 35 independent senior living units, as well as renovation of common areas. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All right, we are approved. Thank you.
You're welcome. Want to go into executive session, we need a motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And seeing that the loan committee did such a good job, you want to just, well, let me read them something. Motion to approve $592,000, $400,000 for SBA commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing and renovating a building in the town of Perryton.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Have to abstain on that one.
Motion to approve $170,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in the town of Penfield.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay. All right.
I'm drumming up business.
Yeah, right?
Motion to approve $130,000 Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation loan through a revolving loan fund for the purpose of purchasing and refinancing 2 short-term notes used to purchase the property located in the city of Rochester
Motion.
with reverse rates and terms.
Revised.
Revised, yeah.
With revised, I'm sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll abstain.
Okay, all right. Motion to approve $10,000 increase in the project cost for previous approved SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing property in Lakeville, New York. And this is also too subject to, well, we took that out, right?
Oh, no, we're.
Subject to selection of an accountant acceptable to MCIDC.
Okay, we need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay, all right. Well, that's it. It carries. So we want to talk a little bit about the micro advantage loan program change. And before we do that, at the State of the County address last week, Monroe Community Industrial Development Corporation got a shout out from the county executive, along with the staff, Anna and Tony and all of you guys. I thought it to be very genuine and purposeful, but it's because of the action around the micro loans. And so I'm just giving a little context to what Anna is going to present to us today, that there might need to be an increase in. So I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, not stolen. Thanks for being there. Thanks to those of you who could make it last week, and also thanks for your flexibility in rescheduling the June board meeting to today to accommodate the county executive's State of the County presentation. We were very proud that our great work was highlighted last Wednesday by the executive. And I want to start by crediting staff, really Allison and Robin and the team here, Tony, Chad, Craig. We have such a talented team working behind the scenes on our Micro Advantage, Micro Loan Fund, and our other programs, such that the micro loan program, which is inherently a difficult lending program to administer, has been among the most successful ARPA investments that Monroe County has made with those fiscal recovery funds. And it's been so successful. We've got 75 loans approved so far, totaling a little under $4 million. That includes vast majority of those, 54 of them are to MWBE businesses. It's been so successful that the county, that those ARPA dollars have an expiration date. If we don't spend all of the fiscal recovery funds allocated to Monroe County or have them committed to a viable purpose by the end of 2026, then all of those funds that are uncommitted have to go back to the federal government. So there are some other programs that the county's been looking at that aren't performing as well as our microloan, and the county executive and the administration has determined, hey, you know, can we move some of these funds, can we reallocate them to the Monroe County Micro Advantage Fund, so that we can support more small businesses, we can support larger transactions, we can accommodate some of this influx in influx in interest in loans that we referenced earlier. So we are today seeking board approval to increase sort of the size and scope of the Monroe County Micro Advantage Loan Program such that we can do deals of up to $100,000, so increasing the cap from $50,000 to $100,000 for the microloan program. We think that that will be a prudent use of those ARPA dollars because the funds, as you all know, the principal payments and the interest payments come back to MCIDC, and we can leverage those dollars in future years to continue micro lending, as well as increase the activity of our revolving loan fund. So the motion before you today is to approve an amendment to our contract with Monroe County. I think it's, no, sorry, Barry's shaking his head.
Yeah, sorry.
Just a motion to approve allowing staff to approve microloans of up to $100,000. So
Thank you.
no change to our contract.
Yeah, our existing contract with the county, you know, didn't have the $50,000 cap that was presented to this board. That was a decision that this board made in the presentation. And so since we provided that information to the board, if we're going to do something different, we thought it appropriate to come back to you and ask for your approval to go to up to $100,000. It's still going to be subject to credit underwriting and approval. Not every loan will automatically bump from $50,000 to $100,000. This is just providing flexibility for situations where a business warrants consideration of a larger microloan, that we could be able to do that.
I just have a question. First, I want to say I think it's a great idea. I think the microloan program has been an incredible success, so congratulations to you and your team. Do we have, or do you, not we, but do you have like is there some people that you've given out loans to that are at that $40,000 or $50,000 threshold that could have used more money, so like we'll be able to get some quick wins with this larger amount? Awesome.
Yep. So they're the first call.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got a list
Yeah.
of people lined up to call this afternoon after you open.
No, that's perfect. Awesome.
So we got a motion on the floor here. Let's get a,
I'll make it.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. You got it.
All right, I will continue along with my thunder. So this is this item is in regards to the Monroe County's Land Bank Corporation. It's also connected to ARPA, and it's also connected to the very excellent work that our staff here in the Department of Planning and Development is doing. The county executive has been focused on the establishment of a land bank since before he took office as a county executive. He's been very interested in this school of thought since back to his days as town supervisor in Rondequoit. Land banks in New York State are nonprofit corporations created by municipalities to acquire, manage, and redevelop vacant and abandoned and tax delinquent properties with the goal of returning them to the tax rolls to productive use. In this day and age, ultimately the goal for us is to create new opportunities for eligible qualified first-time home buyers. The Monroe County Land Bank Corporation has now officially been established. It took some time, a lot of approvals required at the state level. It's being housed inside of the Department of Planning and Development, and the county executive and the legislature have approved the allocation of $1 million of the county's ARPA funds to the Monroe County Land Bank Corporation. And the land bank also was approved for a $250,000 grant from New York State. Complication is that obviously the funds have to be expended by the end of 2026. They're reimbursement based. We are overworked and kind of understaffed in the Department of Planning and Development. Our planning division in particular has a lot of irons in the fire right now, so it's hard for them to, we don't have any one person who's individually focused full-time on the work of the land bank. There's also been, at the Supreme Court level, there was a decision made a couple of years ago that really limits land bank's ability to grab potential properties for development. So based on that restriction, right now the Monroe County Land Bank Corporation only has 3 opportunities ripe for development in the towns of Gates and Greece, and we really want to run to great purpose and develop those properties sooner than later, get those ARPA dollars under contract. So that being said, we would like to employ, we being Monroe County and the Department of Planning and Development, we'd like to employ a land bank administrative manager, somebody who can support our senior associate planner and our planning division in full-time being focused on the work of the land bank. And in conversation with our law department, with the executive's office, and with Barry and staff, we've identified that it's MCIDC has the flexibility and the infrastructure, the underlying infrastructure, to create a position, employ someone, and compensate them for this type of a role, and enter into a contract with the Monroe County Land Bank Corporation and be reimbursed, fully reimbursed for those costs. So this person would technically be an employee of the Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation, but effectively answer up to Pat Gooch, our senior associate planner, and work with myself and Pat on full-time being focused on the work of the land bank, at least for a period of up to 3 years. And then the goal is, as the land bank continues to run and get its sea legs under it, this individual would be employed by the Monroe County Land Bank Corporation ultimately in the long run. So we are looking for board, first of all, I'm welcoming your questions and comments, and ultimately looking for the board to approve creation of a new position to manage the Monroe County Land Bank as stipulated in a contract between MCIDC and the Monroe County Land Bank Corporation.
We pay and get reimbursed?
We would pay and get reimbursed, yes.
That's the caveat.
Yes.
I have a question. So the land bank to be self-sustaining, like the idea is, do you buy properties or is it like seized tax, foreclosed on or I don't know.
Foreclosure, so they have powers to acquire, manage, and transfer properties to new owners. So the county has the Office of Real Property does a tax auction twice a year. And we have the unique ability to, as long as a property, whether it's an open parcel of land or if it's a home, as long as it's gone to auction twice and not been successfully bid on by the highest bidder and purchased and acquired, we can swoop in, take that property, and take it off the tax rolls and redevelop it, and then sell it to what our end goal is ultimately is going to be to develop for first-time home buyers.
So the way it self-sustains is if you spend $125,000 redeveloping and you sell it for $200, that extra $75, you're gaining a balance in addition.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know that we're going to be a profit-making entity where we are confident that we'll continue to, even after the $1 million ARPA funds are expended, we'll continue to be receiving state grant dollars. But many of these properties are problem properties and will probably cost more to revitalize and redevelop than we plan to sell them for, but that all kind of remains to be seen. But this would be it reflected in the contract between MCIDC and the land bank. MCIDC is not going to be a net contributor to the operations of the land bank. We are supporting the creation of this full-time position, providing them with their wages initially, and then we're going to be reimbursed 100% for the cost of their time. And please feel free, Barry, if there's anything that I missed there, because I know I was talking about contracts.
Sorry, was it just residential properties or was it commercial also?
It can be both, but our primary focus is going to be on residential.
Let's make the motion and then call the question.
Okay.
You can have all your questions, but let's get the motion on the table. What would be the motion, Barry?
We have a motion to approve entering into a contract with the Monroe County Land Bank to provide staff support for 18 months through December 31st, 2026, subject to then further annual renewals by this board.
Okay, motion moved. Got a
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then we have a second motion to approve the creation of the new position to manage the Monroe County Land Bank as stipulated in the contract between MCIDC and the Monroe County Land Bank.
Motion. Second. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So this person will report to you?
Yes, this person would report to me and be working primarily with Pat Gooch, who is our senior associate planner, who also reports to me. And Pat's on vacation this week, otherwise I would have had him participate in this discussion today.
Will they come to our meetings and talk to us about the bill?
Oh yeah, we can facilitate that for sure. I think it's definitely in alignment with MCIDC's core mission to increase economic revitalization and competitiveness and create opportunities for Monroe County residents and businesses. So I'm looking forward to reporting back out to all of you on the progress of the land bank, and I'm really excited that we're able to forge kind of an innovative connection between MCIDC and the land bank. It's going to become kind of like MCIDC and COMIDA are their own independent boards nested inside of the Department of Planning and Development here. The Land Bank Corporation is also becoming a similar type of an animal, you know, all with varying but similar missions.
Thank you.
So we've done it.
Well,
Oh, we got
well,
another vote on the creation of the new position.
We had the motion in second, but we haven't voted.
Oh, all in
That's
favor?
right.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, all right.
3 minutes early, what a great job.
Well,
Yeah.
we're really trying to get out of here. I've got a 1 o'clock that I got. Just kidding. Other business, we want to acknowledge, Eric, tonight you're getting an award. And this is the,
This is the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce MWBE Award.
Okay.
It's like the Rochester Top 100, but for MWBEs. And the county, through MCIDC and COMIDA, we're big supporters of the event. The event also recognizes businesses that are certified by Monroe County as under MWBEs, which I think, Eric, you guys are certified with Monroe County as well. Yes.
how long have you been in business now?
29 years.
Ooh. Wow. Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I forgot because I've been with him for so long since he was this. But it's been 29 years, huh? Okay.
And I should probably know this, but what's your company do?
We provide engineering, construction engineering services throughout the East Coast. We started just simply here in Rochester now. We're down at Duke University doing some things with the Chase. We do a ton of our work with the Chase and Pike and Buffalo Construction out of Buffalo and Turner right now as well. So it's funny, I've worked 24 years in relative obscurity. Just the last few years, I kind of took my head up and all this stuff is, you know, now you feel like it was worth it.
You know, it must be me, but it's Tony, Phil, you, and a few other folks around there. I must be losing my hearing. I mean, you guys talk so soft.
I'm a low talker.
We're gonna have to get some amplifiers in here because I'm finding it difficult now just to.
That means you're going down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going fast.
Maybe you just turn your hearing aid on.
I'm gonna get one. You're gonna have to get it. But with that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.